All right, guys, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a good day. Welcome to the final video of the course. So this video is going to dive into the two ways to tell if a zone will fail. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the two different ways to tell if a zone will fail are based off time and depth, okay? So the two pieces of information that you guys should remember is the longer price spends in a zone, the higher chance the zone will fail. And the deeper price goes into a zone, the higher chance the zone will fail as well. So let me show you some examples, and hopefully that will make more sense if it's not that clear to you at the moment. So let's take a look at SPY on the weekly chart. You can see SPY, we have a nice supply zone, right? We rally, we base, we drop, very fast drop. Nice supply zone drawn out on the weekly. If I go on the daily, you can see really nice push up, solid, tight consolidation, very fast move down, very classic supply zone, okay? So this one, we're going to talk about time. So, right, the way supply and demand zones work is that you should see a pretty fast reaction from them, right? So that means, if you're trading a weekly or a daily supply zone, you'd want to see price hit that zone and then come out of it within a day, 2 days max, right? As you can see on SPY, what happens is price comes into this supply zone. We close inside of it on the daily, and we spend like 5 more days, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more days in the zone before it ends up actually breaking and not working, right? So how do we use this to our advantage, right? So if price comes into a zone and it's been there for a while, right? 3, 4 days, you can kind of tell that maybe this zone isn't going to work, and you can exit the position early at a very small loss or even break even, right? Depending on the setup, right? So this is something that you can use to manage your risk a little bit better and get out before you actually end up getting stopped out. So you can see SPY, we come up, we hold into demand, we never even come back out, or sorry, into supply, we never even end up coming out. We just consolidate in supply and it ends up breaking higher, right? So understanding time is one way to tell that price is going to not work in a zone. Let's take a look at CAT, right? CAT, we have a daily demand zone right here. We drop, we base, we have a nice rally. Price comes down and we consolidate in the zone for 3 days, right? We don't bounce higher. We're kind of just consolidating. We're not really getting any bounce at all. There's not a lot of buyers showing up. So you can see that after that, it ends up breaking. So if you get in on this day, on the 13th, you get in at the top of this demand zone at 205. 3 days go by, you're like, you know what, price is not bouncing as it should. We should have at least, went a little bit higher by now, seen some sort of reaction. You can exit the trade early for a small loss or maybe even profits before price ends up taking and you end up taking a big loss, right? So that's CAT. Let me take a look at CL futures, oil futures here, right? So the other way to tell is with depth, okay? What does that mean? That means how far price goes into the zone, right? So you can see on the oil futures, we have a 2-hour supply zone here, right? Price rallies, we base, we have a fast drop, end up going lower. Price ends up coming up, and you see this is the whole zone here, right? From 91.76 all the way to 92.66. Price, as we come in on the 2-hour time frame, we end up going pretty close to the top of that zone already, right? So what does that mean? That means that the sellers are not as strong as they should be, right? Typically, most of the time, you'll see supply and demand zones work where price will come up, just tip the, first portion of the zone, not too far in, and then go back out. Those are the best types of zones, right? The ones where they come in all the way down towards the end or all the way, up to the middle or past the middle, that's a pretty good indication that the zone may not work, right? Now, it's not 100% of the time. It still can work, right? You could have gotten short here, stop here, and, you would have been, in profit for a little bit. But understanding that, price, went pretty deep in, especially combined with time, and it's been consolidating, not that well, you can kind of, get out early or move your stop to manage that risk a little bit better, right? So let's take a look at AMD. Last example I have. You can see on this demand zone here, 2-hour demand, price comes down, so we have a drop, we base, we have a rally. Price comes, we come all the way down to the bottom of the zone, right? So we come all the way down to the bottom. I mean, buyers are not that strong, right? We should have held up, near the top, near 87. We broke 87, came all the way down to the bottom. This ends up becoming more of a support resistance play more than a supply demand play. I focus on trading supply demand, not support and resistance, because support and resistance tends to fail more. So when you see price come all the way down to the bottom, it shows that this demand is not that valid, not that high quality. Although we did get a good bounce from it, we ended up breaking it in the future after that little bounce, right? So if you're trading this type of style and price, let's say this is your trade plan, and price hasn't hit your target, comes all the way down to the bottom, end up coming back. You're thinking, I don't know. You could stop out early, right? It's good to manage your risk, and you don't want to take losses that aren't necessary. So if you see something like this where A, it spends a lot of time in the zone, or B, it comes pretty deep into the zone, that may be a decent indication that you just want to monitor the trade a little bit better, maybe up your stops to break even, or give yourself a time frame of when you want to get out of the position to manage that risk. So all in all, if we go back, the two things to remember: time and depth. So the longer price spends in a zone, the higher chance the zone will fail, and the deeper price goes into a zone, the higher chance the zone will fail. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and this course. If you took something away from this course, guys, please tweet at me. I love seeing the work I do, and it really makes a difference. So it would mean a lot to me if you could just let me know if this course helped you at all. And also, guys, remember to check your emails because I got some surprises for you. I'm not going to spam you or anything like that, but I got a lot of valuable info in those emails coming your way. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed this course.